G'day and welcome to the show. Salt Covers here. Today we're going to go through a big slate of games. On my screen shows projected scores, totals, teams over-under rankings, gangster spread rankings, pace rankings, lots of different bits and pieces so we can make some good decisions about which sides we want to play. Now look, I don't blindly bet based on these projections. It's just one piece of the puzzle. If I do see some edges, then I start to dig a bit deeper, see if there are any trends, matchups, scheduling spots that support the projection. Look, I want to keep the length of these episodes between 10 to 20 minutes. So on a bigger slate like tonight, there will be some games where I'll kind of just gloss over it, especially if I don't have any bets on it. Generally, I will be recording and posting the show around 9 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see when I post this one. I am recording it a bit early. My schedule just doesn't allow for that today. All my plays are documented on Reddit, going 36 and 29, good for 55% against the spread. When I'm posting just a single pick of the day, 15 and 8, good for 65% against the spread. Now, maybe I should just stick to one bet a day, but no, I'm not going to do that. So, look, this slate, it's an interesting slate. It's certainly one where you do not want to be betting the entire board. It's one where you want to pick your spots, get some information. Look, in the last two seasons, teams in their first game back after the All-Star break are 15 and 15 against the spread, 14 and 16 to the over. So there's just nothing there trend-wise. In the last 10 seasons, favorites are 49% against the spread. Over is also 49%. So again, nothing really here in terms of teams always going over, favorites always covering, nothing really there. So instead, some teams I really want to look at tonight are the Bulls, Nets, Blazers, Hornets, and Raptors. I want to see how they perform. These are teams that are outside of the top three race for Cooper Flag, yet they aren't going to make the playoffs. They have no incentive to win. These are teams that should be tanking. So let's watch them. Let's see if they get blown out. Let's see if they compete, especially the Hornets. They're playing the Lakers very soon, just after I'm recording this. These are some teams that I'm certainly not betting on them in this slate. And as for the Hornets-Lakers game, no play in that game either. Alright, first game we are looking at is the Boston Celtics at Philly. Both teams are bottom 5 teams against the spread this year. Boston is an under team, Philly is an over team. Philly are the second worst team to bet on this season. Line opened up at 8.5, now moved to -8 Boston. My projections have this line at Boston -11.7. Total is 224.5 after opening at 224. Projections have the total at 231.4, which is a pretty big gap towards the over. Look, Boston is 1-1 in this matchup against Philly, 1-1 against the spread. Philly is, the over is 2-0. Boston 12-12 is away favorite against the spread. Philly 8-6 is home dog against the spread. Look, my projection, they do have a nice edge towards Boston against the spread, but I'm not going to bet it. Boston is just one of those teams where you want to bet on them after a loss, stay away, or bet against them after a win. Given that they've just had a big break, I just want to sit back, watch this game, see how both teams come out of the gate, especially the Sixers. Are they going to throw in the towel, or are they going to start making a push for the playoffs? In the last episode, we noted that the win total rose up by 2 wins. The market seems to think that they are going to make a push for the playoffs. I'm just going to sit back, take in the info. That'll inform my next bets against Boston and Philadelphia. There is also an edge towards an over, which I do like. I haven't bet it, and I'm not going to bet it. Look, Boston are the worst over team on the road at 10 and 18. Philly 13 and 13 to the over at home. Boston get up the most threes in the league. Philly give up the 5th most 3-point attempts a game. That's a stat I like, pointing towards an over spot. Look, it's tempting, but I just need to see one game out of Philly. Just one. So Look, no bets from this game, but if you do like the over, by all means, go for it. Next game we have is the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Indiana Pacers. Memphis are tied with Cleveland for best team against the spread this season. Both teams here are top 10 over teams, top 10 pace teams, hence why you see a large total. This game opened as a pick'em, now moved to Memphis -2. Projections have Memphis -7. Memphis did lose their last game against the Clippers prior to the All-Star break and are a league best 14-3 after a loss against the spread. In most spots, bet on the Grizzlies after a loss, but again, I'm just gonna stay away from it. I'm not sure if the trend holds up with a week break. I like that trend when it's like a day or two after a loss, while that loss is still fresh in their minds. So nothing on the spread for me. Total opened at 250. It is now what's it at now? 249. My projections have it at 248.8. Nothing here from me at the total. It's just a big number. All right, next game is the Chicago Bulls at New York. Spread opening at Knicks -12.5. Still there at 12.5. Projections have Knicks -11.8. Not much here. Bulls bottom 10 team against the spread. Knicks middle of the league. Look, as I mentioned earlier in the show, this is a game to gather information on the Bulls. Do they get blown out? Do they compete? Large total here, 243 open. Did seem up to 244.5. Now back at 243. Projections have it at 246, but again, like I said, this is an information game, not a bet game. Next game we have is the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Spread open at Cavs -13.5. It's moved towards Brooklyn. Cavs -13. Cavs best team in the league against the spread. Nets sneaky good against the spread as well. They rank 8th. My projections have this at Cavs -17.5. That's a decent edge. Nets 1-5 as home dogs of 10 points or greater. Cleveland are 3-2 against the spread as 10-point road favorites. Look, I lean Cleveland in this spot, but I'm going to stay away from it given the slight movement towards the Nets. Both teams' first game in 7 days. It's just tough to lay so many points in this spot. Brooklyn is another team where I just want to gather some information on them. Are they going to be tanking? Are they going to sit guys? We will see. So, the total though. Now, total here opened at 221.5. My projections had this total at 233.7. I looked at this number a few days ago and bet the over for 3 units at 221.5. Go follow my Twitter. I post as soon as I make a bet. I go and post it on Twitter. Last 24 hours, this total is steamed up to 224.5. Look. You're never going to get a Cavs total this low. All of the totals are at least 230, if not into the 240s. Cavs as a away team, 18-7 to the over. As away favourites, 16-5 to the over. Best over team in the league. Now the Nets, yes, they are an under team, but look, can the Nets just score 100 points and this game goes over? I know the Cavs are going to get at least 120, maybe even 130. Look, this is one of my best bets on the board as soon as I saw the 221.5. Took it for 3 units. Go check my Twitter. The slips are up there. We'll go through my best bets after the show. As for 224.5, I still lean over, but I wouldn't bet that number. I will be grading the pick at 221.5. Go follow my Twitter. Again, going forward, we will be recording closer to when I make these bets. But look, I placed this bet 2 days ago. Tweeted it 2 days ago. Go follow the Twitter. Next game we are looking at is the Orlando Magic at Atlanta. Line opened at Hawks -1.5 and since moved through the ones over to Orlando -1.5. This is another wait and see game for me. Orlando, they are much better than how they've played over the last 10, 20 games. 2025, they've been awful. Look, my projections have this line at Atlanta -2.4. Does give them a slight edge. However, I'm not going to fade the market. It's moved towards Orlando. I'm going to sit this one out. I did not bet it. Over-under opens at 221.5, move to 222.5. Over is nice in Hawks home games, going 16-8. Magic as a road team, 12 and 17 to the over. Hawks, second best in pace, seventh best in over. Magic are an under team, low pace team. Nothing to see from me from here. Magic are certainly a team to keep an eye on. The market has been giving them a lot of respect, even despite their poor play. Can they start to build some momentum? Moving on, we have my LA Clippers going into Milwaukee. Clippers scored a nice win against the Bucks in LA earlier this year. Line opened at Bucks -1.5. Stayed around this number. Now, this is interesting because the line hasn't really moved yet. Dame and Giannis have been announced as questionable. My projections have this game at Bucks -0.8, so pretty close to the line currently. Oh, we need to have a look at where the lines are now. Line has actually moved. Clippers now +1. So look, Clippers, they are fourth best team against the spread this year. Bucks bottom 10 against the spread this year. Bucks pace up team, Clippers pace down team. Both teams are under teams. Look, nothing much from me here spread wise. The Clippers, they're a much better team against the spread at home. More or less 500 on the road at 12 and 13. Bucks 12 and 13 as well at home. Total opened at 225, now 225.5. My projections got it at 227.5 again. Look, not much here for me. Bit of uncertainty around Dame and Giannis. Look out for that injury report. Both players are over players. Giannis pace up, get some points. Dame, also great for their offense. Also traffic cone on defense. Look, expect for this total to move based on whether they're ruled in or out. Next game, we have the Charlotte Hornets at the Denver Nuggets. Hornets coming into this game on a back-to-back. Currently, they're about 20 minutes from tip-off against LA. This is an interesting spot. Both teams are top 10-ish against the spread. Line opened at Denver -15. Now Denver 14.5. Hornets on no rest this season, 6-3 against the spread. Denver with the rest advantage, 3-4 against the spread. Nothing really here for me on the spread. Total is where things get interesting. Total opened at 228.5, has moved down to 227. My projections have this at 237, which is a massive edge towards the over. Denver are an over team. They're a pace-up team. Hornets are the worst over team and the bottom 10 pace team. Yeah, look, Hornets with no rest are also 1-8 towards the over. That's not good. Nuggets with the rest advantage are 3-4 to the over. That's also not good. LaMelo Ball. This does hinge on LaMelo Ball. If he plays more than 10 minutes in a game, the Hornets are 14-18 to the over, which is much better than the season record of 19-33 to the over. Look, this is another no bet from me. I will be looking closely at this total, watching LaMelo, watching that injury report. No bet from me for now. Next, we have the Phoenix Suns versus the San Antonio Spurs. Line opened at Spurs -2s, now moved to Suns -2 as Wemby's been announced doubtful. My projections had this game as more or less a pick'em. Suns worst team in the league against the spread, Spurs 19th. Without Wemby, the Spurs are 3-3 against the spread. I was looking at the games that they played without Wemby. Somehow they beat the Thunder without Wemby. I didn't even know that game happened. Jesus. So look, nothing really here for me on the spread. Really want to watch how Phoenix plays. But the total, sheesh. So, this total opened at 230.5. It actually got bet down to 228.5. I played the over at 229. As soon as I saw the market starting to go back to 230, I was like, yep, I'm getting on this over. Projections have this game at 238.5. Now, the total before Wemby got ruled as doubtful, the total did steam up to 231. So, either somebody had some information about Wemby that he has an illness, or the market liked it as an over spot before that Wemby news. Now that Wemby gets ruled out, total has just steamed up to 235.5. Again, go check out my Twitter. I tweeted out Cavs Brooklyn over 221. I also tweeted out Phoenix Spurs over 229 2 days ago. Now we're sitting at 235.5. This is a great ticket to have. 5 points of CLV. Projections have this at 238.5. The over is also 4-1 with Fox in the lineup. He is a pace-up player. On the Kings, he led the team in pace. When you slice up their pace for players who have played more than 10 games, averaging more than 10 minutes, he led the team in pace. Again, go follow my Twitter if you want to get these picks before I record. Suns overs are also nice here when they are on the road. They are 18-9 to the over as a away team. Don't chase the steam, instead just follow my Twitter. Last game on the slate, we have the LA Lakers going into Portland on a back-to-back. Line open at Lakers -5.5, has since moved to Lakers now -4. Both the top 10 teams against the spread this season. Both teams have been playing really well against the spread lately in 2025. Like, they've just been covering everything. My projections have this line at Lakers -5.5. So, look, Lakers no rest, 3-3 against the spread as a away team, 12-14 against the spread. Blazers are 9-5 this season against the spread with a rest advantage, 17-8 against the spread as home underdog. Oh wow! Damn, it wasn't on screen. The line just moved back to 4.5. Look, this is my first video. Moving around the odds board, moving around the Excel spreadsheet. Bear with me. I will get better at this. Oh, wow, no, it moved back to 4. Damn, okay, interesting. Some interesting movement here with the Lakers-Portland game. Going between 4.5 and 4. Look, there are a number of trends here pointing towards the Blazers. Market seems to agree, but as for me, this is another information game. I want to see how the Blazers enter this second half. They've been playing really well, had a lot of momentum. Will this break kill the momentum? Will they start to tank? They are 9th in the race for Cooper Flag. Look, I don't see this team making the playoffs. So, like, are they gonna start sitting guys? Are they gonna start tanking? We will see. Again, information game, not a bet game. Alright, moving on to our best bets. Let's get the odds screen off the screen. Best bets. As you can see, the tickets over 229.5 for that Cavs Nets game. Got it at -111 odds. We also bet on the Spurs 3 days ago. We bet on the Spurs Suns over 229.5 at -111. We also tweeted this out 2 days ago. Those are our best bets. That's what we're going to be grading against. Again, go follow me on Twitter if you want to get these picks in real time. Don't chase the steam, although I still kind of like the Cavs over, even though it's 224.5. That Suns Spurs, stay away from it. Keep an eye on LaMelo as he plays the Lakers. That's another one I will be looking at. But look, for now, no bet. Those are my 2 bets. See you next episode, and let's get them books salty.